Have you been questioning your sanity lately or for your entire life? Have you been told you have memory issues or you remember wrong or you're too sensitive or you're being dramatic just for pointing something out? And maybe now you're starting to wonder if you really are the problem or if this other person really is trying to make you feel as confused as possible. If this sounds like you, stick around and watch this video because today we're going to talk about how narcissists use gaslighting to manipulate their targets and make them feel like they're going crazy. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Adriana. I was raised by a narcissistic mother, and for years I did not know how to heal. And on top of that, I battled physical chronic pain for 4 years, which led me to learn about the mind-body connection. I healed my physical pain as well as the pain of the trauma of being raised by a narcissist and having other several different types of narcissists throughout my life. And not only did this help me break free from the toxic cycle of abuse, it also motivated me to become a coach myself and help other survivors learn how to heal, set boundaries, and live life on their own terms. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more great content on healing from narcissistic abuse, and check out the link in the description for options to work with me. In today's video, I'm going to help you understand what gaslighting really is and how to spot it so you can start trusting your own reality once and for all. That being said, let's dive into it and let's get your shift together. Gaslighting is a word that has gained a bit of popularity in the past couple of years. And, it's been getting a lot of attention lately, and some people are not using this word correctly. So, what does it actually mean, and how does it impact us on a daily basis? We're going to break down exactly what gaslighting is, from the basic definition to the deeper, longer lasting effects that it can have on your self worth, your memory, your sense of reality, your sanity. And we're also going to go over some real life examples, and I'm going to share with you some practical tips for recognizing and coping with gaslighting. So, if you are a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you're no stranger to gaslighting, of course, and there is a great chance that somebody close to you has been making you question your own perception of reality. You are absolutely not alone, and I know this firsthand because I've been there too. And, my late narcissistic mother literally made me doubt absolutely everything, down to the most basic memories. I would walk on eggshells, and I never knew when I would be told that I'm hearing wrong or I'm too sensitive. And looking back now, of course, I realize just how far reaching those effects of gaslighting can be. And it's not just about manipulation, it's about tearing down your sense of self piece by piece, but it does not have to be this way. So let's talk about what gaslighting really is. This is part of narcissistic abuse. It's a form of emotional abuse where somebody makes you question your own reality. It's very subtle sometimes it's not so subtle, but a lot of the times it is very, very subtle. And that's why we kind of overlook gaslighting when it's happening, especially in the early stages of a relationship with a narcissist. They'll start gaslighting you about the tiniest things, where if you were to bring it up, you would look like you're trying to make a problem out of nothing, and it's easier to just sort of sweep it under the rug. And this is what narcissists are counting on. If the narcissist in your life is a parent, of course, like they will do the gaslighting subtly as well, but you're more wired to believe they're gaslighting because you've had a whole lifetime being subscribed to their gaslighting. It might be easier to recognize, but more difficult to emotionally accept that that's happening. At the end of the day, no matter who the narcissist is or what they're gaslighting you about or how they're gaslighting you, this tactic is all about power and control over the other person. A narcissist is gaslighting you, they'll rely on things like denial, blame shifting, trivializing your feelings, anything that they can say or do in order to keep you off balance and questioning reality. So, for example, they will have done something, like you will literally catch them in the act. You might have a whole binder full of evidence and screenshots and receipts and whatever, and you call them out on it, and they're going to say that never happened. Even if you have literal proof of the thing happening, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be so confident in their lie and so convinced in their bullshit when they're gaslighting you. And that's why gaslighting works too, because they're so confident when they gaslight you. They have to be, this is someone who is literally so on a mission to cause emotional distress within you that they will know firsthand that they are lying and that what they're saying is not true about you remembering wrong, even though there's all this evidence. They are so pathological and insidious that they are able to sound so confident and so grounded in the truth when they are gaslighting you that in itself, it's so easy to confuse a confident tone of voice with reality. And that's another reason why gaslighting works for narcissists, because they're just so confident about it. Like, that never happened. What are you talking about? This is all fake. These screenshots were photoshopped. Like, they will be so confident and make you doubt the reality. Other situations where, they do something and you react, which is what they're going for, they will then tell you that you're overreacting. And again, that is to get more emotional reactions out of you. They want you to get angry and upset with them for saying that you are overreacting. So this causes you to have more of a reaction. And then, of course, the cycle of abuse continues, because don't forget, the main goal of any narcissist is to gain supply. If you haven't watched my recent video up here about what narcissists want, supply, I invite you to take a look at that to make the rest of this video make more sense if you're not familiar with the concept of supply. Another way that narcissists can gaslight is, they'll say something, like they'll make fun of you, they'll kind of like anything that they can say about you that they know is going to be a dig, whether it has something to do with like your appearance or a vulnerability of yours or just anything. Then, they say the thing to you that is offensive or hurtful or whatever, you are visibly upset and they'll say it's just a joke. Regardless of the situation, someone who's gaslighting you is going to deny that something ever happened, whether it was 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. And if you try to bring it up, even with proof, they're going to keep insisting that you are remembering wrong. They're just going to deny everything in order to suit their own story and their own narrative. And it's really going to be spun in whatever way makes them look like the good guy and you look like the bad guy. So let's talk about why narcissists gaslight their targets. So obviously, they are going to use gaslighting as a way to make you feel insecure and doubt yourself, because that gives them a sense of power and control over them. When you start to feel like you are losing your mind, you're so much easier to manipulate, because chances are, you're trusting this person who is telling you that you're losing your mind. That's where the cycle of abuse is so key in understanding this. And if you haven't watched my video on the cycle of abuse, here it is, wherever it shows up here, so you can give that a watch as well. And when they love bomb you, they're building a sense of trust with you. The whole point of love bombing is to gain your trust. And love bombing also makes gaslighting easier for the narcissist, because if they have gained your trust, this is somebody that you look up to. This is somebody whose opinion you care about, because they have created that sense of trust with you through the love bombing stage or stages. And so when they start gaslighting you and telling you you're remembering wrong, something's wrong with you, and they're so confident about it, you're more likely to believe what they're saying and take it at face value as the truth. Right? We're not going to believe people that we don't trust. So this is the whole point of the love bombing, so that they can gain your trust, start devaluing you, start gaslighting you, all the things, and then it just keeps repeating over and over and over again. And this is another reason why narcissists will only target the people closest to them, because they know that you already trust them, because they've been able to gain that trust from you, and they will use that to also keep you sort of isolated, because nobody else sees this side of them. Nobody else really gets gaslighted like this by them, because they only have a few select people that they're targeting at any given moment. They're not abusing everybody, because then everybody would know. And so this is why no one's going to believe you if you start telling them what's going on, because they see a completely different version of this person. But the painful truth is that this is going to help you figure out like who has critical thinking skills or not, when the people who are taking the narcissist side, they don't know how to think. Do they really need to take up space in your life? Probably not. Another way that narcissists can use gaslighting is when they're very subtle about it. And so this can start with these very small, seemingly insignificant comments or, stuff that they do that just makes you doubt yourself. And over time, these tiny seeds of doubt will grow into full-blown uncertainty. And then that makes you feel lost and confused. Like, it always starts pretty subtly at first. And the effect that you're feeling now after coming across this video, you've probably been through narcissistic abuse for a significant period of time, potentially your entire life if you were raised by narcissistic parents like me. And the confusion that you're feeling, the level of self-doubt that you are feeling in this moment, is not because of one time that you were gaslit. It is an accumulation of the years, decades, gaslighting that you have gone through throughout your life, where You don't know if the sky is blue anymore. You don't know if 2 + 2 is 4, or if it really is 5, like the narcissist said, even though there's all this proof that it's 4. And that's part of the conditioning. And, there's hope. I used to be in that same position as well. So don't panic. There is hope for you. You can heal through it, one day at a time, one baby step at a time. And if you are interested in starting your healing journey, my community membership is such a great place to get started and get a taste of the healing journey. It starts at less than $1 per day. You can cancel anytime. You get access to my audio courses, live events each month. And there's so many other support options as well once you get inside the community. If you're interested in learning more and signing up, just take a look at the link in the description underneath this video. And I look forward to seeing you in the community if you do decide to join. But regardless, make sure that you are working on your healing journey in some capacity, because that's going to help you deal with gaslighting. It's going to help you actually be able to recognize gaslighting in your nervous system as it's happening. So that being said, let's talk about what can happen when you're aware of gaslighting and you can recognize it happening in the moment. I would never ever recommend you calling them out on the gaslighting, because that's going to turn into a whole thing. The goal with dealing with a narcissist in general is to not give them supply. They want you to call them out, because when you call them out, that continues the dialogue, that continues the conversation, and that conversation is not going to go anywhere. They're just going to keep gaslighting you. So you're going to waste your time. If you feel like you need to waste more time and have these conversations, go for it. I will very lovingly say I told you so once you realize that, it was completely pointless, and then you can take this new strategy of just not bothering and not giving them any attention when they are gaslighting you. So if they're like really convincing you're the worst person in the world, you did this random thing 5 years ago. And don't you find it funny that, they have such memories of a goldfish when you're calling them out on something that literally just happened, but they have the memory of an elephant when it comes to something that you did on June 2nd, 2007 at like 4 p.m. You know what I mean? Like they will remember these random horrible things that you've done, but they don't seem to remember the crap that they do, especially when they're being called out on it. So that's another indication, honestly, that they know what they're doing. It's just they are operating in their own delusion and their narrative where they need to be right and you need to be wrong, because their little pathetic ego can't handle reality. That's really it in a nutshell. And so this might not be something that can feel like within the realm of possibility for you right now, especially if you're brand new to your healing journey. But I would encourage you to start trusting yourself. Start trusting that you know what happened, and you know what was said, and that talking to them is not going to give you the clarity that you're looking for. It's a trap. Talking to a narcissist to gain clarity on something that the narcissist did is just going to keep you stuck in that loop of uncertainty and confusion. And you're going to start gaslighting yourself, which you probably have already started gaslighting yourself, because chances are might see somebody else's story about narcissistic abuse, and then you think, oh, well, mine wasn't that bad, so maybe this wasn't narcissistic abuse to begin with, and you just gaslight yourself and you minimize the damage on what has happened, and that's never helpful or constructive for healing at the end of the day. And if nothing else, I do hope that this video at least plants the seed of awareness within you, where you're aware that you are gaslighting yourself. You are aware that you're being gaslit. Maybe you don't have the courage to believe the truth just yet, but you can work up to that. And if this video does nothing else for you, I hope it at least does that, planting those seeds. But again, this is why doing that inner emotional work is crucial. And when you start processing and listening to your own emotions by yourself, away from the narcissist, because you never want to do the inner work in front of the narcissist, because they're going to use that as supply. And when you start doing it properly on your own, away from the narc, actually feeling the emotions in the body. And if you don't know how to start feeling those emotions, I do have another resource at the link in the description. It's a free quiz on how to uncover freedom after narcissistic abuse. The results are going to have a journaling exercise that I would strongly encourage you to do. Start it today, because you might as well. The sooner you start healing, the better things are going to be for you. Like imagine if you started today, where you could be in a week, a year, a month, 5 years, right? You'll be a hell of a lot further if you start today than if you don't start today and keep putting it off and wait until things get 10 times worse a year from now. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine too. I'm here either way. But I would definitely encourage you to start doing something today and taking the free quiz. You're going to get the free instructions on how to journal within your quiz results, and you can literally get started today. And it's going to help you really become your own human bullshit detector, because the more that you're aware of your emotions, the more you're going to be aware of when someone's trying to manipulate you, because you're going to know what these manipulative feelings feel like. You're going to know guilt, shame, fear, the three musketeers, bamboozlement, obligation, confusion, any of those emotional states. You're going to know, hey, this is someone trying to manipulate me. This doesn't mean that these emotions are my identity, but you can only get to that point if you actually start to do the work. So, again, link in the description, take the free quiz, or join my amazing community membership for less than $1 per day. You can literally cancel anytime, no questions asked. It's going to be such a great way to start that healing journey. And at the end of the day, being able to deal with gaslighting and coping with gaslighting is really about learning to trust your own instincts. You're not going to get validation from the narcissist. That is like sure as hell never going to happen. They will never validate you. They will never give you that acknowledgement of like, yeah, no, I've been messing with your mind this whole time. They would never do that. If they were to do that, that would defeat the whole purpose of trying to manipulate you this entire time. These are people who do not take accountability. So do not try to seek accountability or validation or reassurance or anything healthy from the person that's causing, the disruption. This is the person that's causing you to feel this way. They're not going to give you the closure. You have to make that own closure for yourself. You don't have to convince anybody else. And the thing is, when you try to convince other people that you're being gaslit, they're going to start gaslighting you. And unfortunately, this can happen a lot, even in therapy, sadly. Like when, I've had this experience myself where I was being gaslit by my late narcissistic mother. And then I'm getting gaslit by the therapist who's telling me that I'm being dramatic, I'm overreacting. This is my mother. I should consider her childhood. And, like I shouldn't have any problems because of what I went through. So that's like another scale of gaslighting. And so it's so important to, if you're going to work with somebody, whether it's a therapist or a coach, that they understand narcissistic abuse, which can be very hard to find. I'm personally a coach. I'm not a therapist, but if you're interested in coaching, again, link in the description for your options. But, unfortunately, it's really hard to find especially like a mental health professional that gets it. If you find one, if you've got one, if you are one and you get it, great. I'm not trying to shit on therapy or anything like that. But the reality is that there are so many survivors of narcissistic abuse specifically who have had bad experiences with therapy that only prolongs the healing process and delays the true healing that could happen if you had the right tools. So just throwing that out there. And again, the free quiz is going to equip you with at least one tool, which is the journaling exercise. And that alone can be so helpful. And it's free. I'm not going to try to convince you anymore to take the quiz and do the journaling because, it just speaks for itself at this point. That's it for today's video. I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Leave any comments. Let me know what you learned in this Gaslighting 101 video, and feel free to make any suggestions for future content that you would like to see on the channel. See you next time. Bye.